Good evening. La dernière personne qui revient aussi sur les milieux naturels, mais c'est marqué qu'elle va bouger, donc je ne sais pas exactement quelle est la question. Good evening, Mr. Albert Hayek. I don't know if that's, I pronounce your name.
That's correct. Thank you very much.
So if you want to have a small introduction and go for a question, please.
Fine. Good evening. I must say that I am more reassured now hearing what has been said. Mind you, it was a big shock when we heard that the budget was removed for natural spaces, but I am more assured from what I hear. Now, you know, of course, that the Montreal has a plan, the Plan Development Montreal, and this plan went to public consultation through the Office de Consultation Publique de Montréal. And the report was put out in January and the press conference in February. And there are many issues that are dealt with in this document. Now, I realize that at this point, these are recommendations by the OCPM. I will read a few and just very briefly, and my question and my concern is, will these things be realized? Many citizens took a long time and put input into this document. For example...
You will have to go directly to your question, please.
If you, I'm almost there.
Well, please.
The document says to increase the amount of natural space, to green our quartier, okay? To make Montreal a green city. How are we going to realize this? Will these things be realized? Will the citizens' wishes in this document be realized, Mr. Mayor?
That's your question, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Copeman.
Mr. Hayek, I'll break from tradition and call you Al. We've known each other for a number of years. One slight correction, of course, I'm sure it was a slip of the tongue. You talked about the budget for the acquisition of green spaces having been removed. That's, of course, not correct. It was reduced. I think the nuance is important.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, we share those objectives in the Plan de Développement de Montréal. We share the comments that were made to the Office de Consultation Publique de Montréal. What I would suggest to you is that the vehicle for the respect of those types of objectives, the objectives contained in the PMAD, which was adopted by the CMM, the vehicle for that will be the Schéma d'Aménagement, which is currently under preparation. One of the previous questioners said it was being prepared by me. That, of course, is incorrect. It's being prepared by the City of Montreal and the services which I have the honor to be responsible for. But thankfully, I'm not preparing it myself. We're expecting a much more intelligent and forward-looking document than I could produce. That is submitted. It will be submitted in initial form to the reconstituted municipalities, to the City of Montreal. There will be a public consultation on that document in the fall, and it will come back to the City of Montreal and the Agglomeration Council for adoption this year. And it's our objective to ensure that the agglomeration of the island of Montreal does its part to achieve the objectives that are set out in the PMAD with regard to green space.
Thank you, Mr. Copeman. Mr. Hayek, you have a sub-question, please?
I do. And the second question concerns our commitments made at Nagoya, Japan in 2010. And the commitments made were for 2020. That's 6 years away. And in this document, we talked about 17% of the terrestrial and inland river areas would be preserved. Can we have the same reassurance about meeting our international commitments under Nagoya 2010?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Copeman?
Again, Mr. Hack, I would, of course, point out something that I'm sure you're aware of. That 17% is for the Montreal metropolitan area, not for the island of Montreal.
Yes.
We will do our part. We have some challenges there, and I think all of my colleagues on the Agglomeration Council recognize the challenges associated with increasing the percentage of green space, which is an objective that we all share. It does not come without challenges, which we are prepared to confront, We are prepared to fund adequately and put into place, but as I say, we will do our part as an agglomeration to meet those objectives that are set out in the PMAT of 17% green space.
Thank you very much.
I thank you very
Mr.
much.
Elliott. Good evening.